And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Words I Choose to Live By. I'm Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Joined by our lovely co hosts, Mary Ellen Saganovich, Melissa Banks, and Darius Ewing. Today, we're discussing week number 30 from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. You guys can see it there. We appreciate you guys being with us, whether you're tuning in on Facebook, on Instagram. Also, we have our friends on YouTube and even on Twitter. So if you guys feel free to be able to let us know if you have any questions or comments, we'd love to be able to add those in. And you all are now joining us for Words I Choose to Live By here on Amazon Live. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by Mary Ellen Saganovich, Melissa Banks, and Darius Ewing. Today here on Amazon Live, we are wrapping up the year with a great message. It's week number 30 from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. I was just showing it there. This is a great one, I think, for us to be able to end up with. But before we get into that, how's everybody doing today?
Absolutely wonderful.
Amazing.
Good deal.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful.
Good deal. Well, look, before we get into our show, let's go ahead and get the mushy stuff out of the way. I have now been on Amazon Live now for 7 months, and when I first reached out to the three of you to be a part of the show, I did it, of course, in traditional Cyrus Webb fashion through a message on Facebook, and you all were crazy enough to all say yes. and I want to say thank you to the three of you for being a part of this journey with me for Amazon Live. This has been one of the top 10 shows on Amazon Live in the media category for the entire time that we've been on. And sometimes we've even gotten to the top 5, 4, 3. It's kind of stopped at 3, but we're going to work on that in 2022. But I want to say thanks to all of you for being a part of this. This show would not be, and I mean this honestly, I do not believe this show would be what it is without the three of you. So enough of the mushy stuff. Let's get into week number 30 of the book. The message is your gift will make room. And again, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my book here on the Amazon Live side for those who are joining us there. But this is what the message says. Never doubt the power within. When you have been given a gift, the last thing you should worry about is if the world will accept it. Your main concern should be doing it justice. If you do your part with what you have been blessed with, your gifts will always make room for you and put you exactly where you need to be. And y'all, I cannot tell you how much this message is for me. And I have actually seen this manifest in a big way actually this year for myself. I have been in my own way for a long time, and I'm a very transparent person. I have been trying to block success, which may sound like a very odd thing, but it just goes to the craziness that I am. But I have been trying to block things from happening because success scares me. And what I have had to learn is that your gifts will make room for you. And what is meant for you is for you. And there's nothing anybody can do to stop it. And the only way that it won't happen is if you don't do your part. So that is what I have learned. So Darius, I'm curious, we're going to kick things off with you. How does this resonate with you? When you kind of look at your life and look at journey, when you think of your gifts making room for you, how is it manifested for you?
Man, in a great way. Lord, I have never talked against myself, but I've always kind of had a little chippiness because of the things that I've been through. When you have a gift and a calling, I've been singing and playing in church all my life, and you hear it all the time. Man, you got the anointing. It's a difference in being gifted and having the anointing. And when you have this, that, and the third, and you operate it in the right manner and in the right fashion, doors open that you never imagined were open. So I just took that, and as I got older, I remember, the vow I made to my grandmother when she was alive, and I told her that I would serve and serve with all that I had. And she told me, she said, well, baby, as long as you give all you got and you give it all to God, it's gonna work out, and just stay the course. And so that just really just resonated and stuck with me. It's not gonna be easy, but long as it's on my mind, and long as I'm focused on doing it, and long as I'm trying to walk in it and get it done, it's gonna happen. So that just, man, yeah, it resonated deep with me.
Yeah. And I think it's such an important thing on Amazon Live. MPHO says, such a powerful word. Thank you so much for the follow over there. Really appreciate it. If you guys are new to us here on Amazon Live, make sure you guys do hover around this video. You'll notice the follow button is either over here in this corner or down below. Make sure you guys follow us to stay connected with all of our great programming here on Amazon Live. Mary Ellen, I want to ask you the same question. I mean, you have definitely been able to showcase your gifts, but what does that mean for you that your gifts will make room for you?
Well, I always know, when God tells you what to do, okay, and when you don't do it, he's going to keep bugging you and bugging you and bugging you with different messages until you do it, until you do the work. And when I put my energy toward making that goal happen, when I do the work to make it happen, it just flows really smoothly. And you speak about this one, Cyrus, with the word doubt. And you can use doubt to hold you back, or you can use doubt as a wake-up call. And when I'm working with people, I try to tell them, you have this brain up here. Treat your brain like a great big giant filing cabinet. And throughout your whole life, you've been filing thought after thought, experience after experience, and all these thoughts and experiences are in there. So when you get to a certain point, and let's say you've been negative all your life, and then you want to change that. Okay, you have this little messenger, and you say, okay, I'm going to do a positive thought. I am wonderful. I approve of myself. And so this little messenger comes down and picks up the thought and runs up to the filing cabinet and goes, no file, no file. And comes back down and goes, are you sure? And that's when doubt comes in. Are you sure? You've never been positive. And you need to say to doubt, get rid of that file. Make a file for positive thoughts. Make a file. Make your file, what cabinet, whatever it want to be, and take all those old files that you don't want, that you never liked in your life, and trash them and get rid of them and become what you want. Make your filing cabinet. Tell yourself over and over again, I am wonderful. I am lovable. I approve of myself. I can do this. And look at your dream, visualize it, write it down, say it, speak it, and make it happen.
Yeah. Such a great thing. And it is a process, right? I mean, this is, even though we know, even the scripture lets us know our gifts will make room for us. I mean, it is still a process for sure. Melissa, what about for yourself? I mean, we know this to be a fact that your gifts will make room for you, but how has this resonated with you personally?
Well, until you make that scripture, like you said, we've heard it before, we've heard other people say it, but once it became personal, and once I took it personal, that my gifts will make room for me, it unleashed the gift. See, we have this way we think things are going to be. So I had this way that I felt that my career, my dream, my business was going, and I designed it like that. What happened to me, though, even in this middle of this pandemic, God just turned me around, and all of a sudden, I say all of a sudden, but when I look back, it was building to that moment where these words jumped out of the page and became real life. Because what I see and what I was happening was not what I was designing. It was not what I was going for, because I was limiting myself into this box. And we all do it. When we start a business, when we decide what we're going to do, we have this box and we have this path that we think it should go. What happens to us is when it doesn't go like we had mapped it out to go, then we get discouraged. Then we start stopping. Then we start limiting ourselves. What happened to me in the last 2 years is I took these words literally. I hold God to every promise that he gave me. I said, you put me here, and I know you put me here for me to succeed, not for me to fail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you be the CEO, and I'm going to hold you literally to the words that you said. So when I claim that in my spirit, in my gut, in my mind, in my soul, when I claimed that, that's when I was able to accept my gifts. I was able to explore the gifts. I was able to let God lead me and keep working toward wherever that destiny is. But I'm holding them to his word. They're not literal. They're literally what I say. They're literally what I believe. And because I'm at that place, I can believe it. Was it easy? No, because I had a plan. And when my plan was supposed to work, and when it didn't work, then I had to intentionally, that's that word, y'all know I love it. I had to intentionally go for it and believe that my gifts will make room for me. And when that happens, all the things that have happened in my world over the last 2 years were never on anything I wrote down. It was never on anything that was in my heart. God placed it there. And when God placed it there, it's going to increase. It's going to succeed. My job is to believe, work hard, and keep going.
Yeah. Melissa, I'm going to keep you there for just a second because our audience on the Amazon Live side will notice we have a different book highlighted for you this week. That's because you have a new book out officially now, Dream by Design, the devotional, the expanded edition. So congratulations to you on that. We'll get more into that here in a bit. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, you are watching Words I Choose to Live By here on Amazon Live. I'm Cyrus Webb, the author of the book, Words I Choose to Live By. You guys can see it there. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it there in the carousel here on the Amazon Live side. Today, we're discussing week number 30. And even though we are wrapping up this year, this is our 30th episode of Words I Choose to Live By. And I'm so excited to be joined by my co-host, Mary Ellen Saganovich, Darius Ewing, and you just heard there from Melissa Banks. And we're discussing the message in week 30, your gift will make room. Now, I'll also say in this particular message, your main concern should be doing it justice. If you do your part for what you have been blessed with, your gifts will always make room for you and put you exactly where you need to be. Now, that's what it says, Darius. That's what I wrote in the book. But there may be people watching this right now who may say, look, I have been trying all year to make something work. I've been trying to sing. I've been trying to dance. I've been trying to act. I've been trying to grow a business, and it is not working. So what would you say to them, Darius, about that? About the importance of realizing that the work is something that must continually happen?
To me?
Yes.
You have to adjust. Number one, you're gonna have to adjust your mindset. They tell us in the military, if it don't mind, it don't matter. You gotta adjust your thinking. Once you adjust your thinking, your actions have to follow. You can't say that you want to learn how to do, or you can't say that you want to start a business on design, but all your focus is on Facebook. Or your focus is not, your focus is not where you're really supposed to be at. So you got to fix your mindset and start putting that action with the mindset. After you do that, you just have to, first and foremost, pray. But through the whole process, you got to know that God is going to carry you through. He's the mastermind behind it all. If he gave you the vision, he's going to carry you through. You got to just adjust your mind and say, okay, well, I know it's going to hurt a little bit. Some of this stuff I got to go through, but in order to get to the final product, I'm going to have to go through something.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go through something.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Darius. Sorry about that. Suzette says on the Facebook side, absolutely real talk. That is so true. Mary Ellen, what about for you? Because again, we know what we're told. We know the importance of the work. It's the time frame that sometimes gets us in trouble, right? I mean, we want it yesterday, right? But what has helped you, Mary Ellen, and what would you say to other people about the importance of realizing that it really is about them doing the work and it will happen when it's supposed to happen?
It never ceases to amaze me, Cyrus, how God puts me exactly where I need to be at a certain time. Because I will either post the truth of the day and somebody will come back and say, oh, this is exactly what I needed to hear today. Or I could be in a grocery store talking to somebody and maybe they're saying exactly what I need to hear. You are always where you're supposed to be because God does put you there. And if you're doing something and it's not working the way you want it to, get your humanness out of the way. Connect with your higher power in your knowings, okay? And allow God to lead you. Maybe you shouldn't, like when I started writing, I was going to write a book on education because I'd always been in education. And I stumbled and And so then I started writing spiritual books or truth books, and they just flowed. And when you connect with what God truly wants you to do, okay, you won't stumble and stagger with it. It will flow. It will come out of you because it's coming out of your soul and it's coming out of you through your higher power. God is working through you to give your gift to the world when you get your humanness out of the way. Because most people, you don't have a fear of success. You don't have a fear of failure. You have a fear of success because we don't think we're good enough or whatever. So we have to fight that and go forward and say, I am good enough to do this. I can do it. People will listen to me. So I would always suggest to get your human self out of the way and connect with your spiritual higher power.
Yeah. Layla says, say that. Suzette says, God always first. Everything else will fall in line. That is so true. Melissa, what about for you? I mean, we're living in a world where we want things now. I mean, we want things to happen now. And people will say, you know what? Yeah, I've been trying this thing for at least 3 days and it's not working. So this must not be true. What would you say to them, Melissa, about that, realizing that it's not about their time frame?
Well, that's the hardest part, right? Is knowing that you don't control the time frame. Something Darius said that comes to mind right here. He said it begins with your thinking. So if you think that you've given it all you've got in 5 days and you haven't achieved that, if you think that's it, if that's the limit that you've set on yourself, then that will be your limit. But if you just believe that you can push through, I've been building my business for over 20 years. And I know that I've had those moments where things were happening and it was going, I felt like I was right where I needed to be. But then I had those moments that things were not going well. I was getting more no's than yeses. I was feeling stuck. That's when your thoughts kick in and say, you know what? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Should I be doing something else? That's when those outside voices come in and try to make you think, and will, if you allow it, make you think that you're not supposed to have it, that you're not supposed to be there. Those negative outside influences will feed into what's already there, where you have placed the limiting beliefs on yourself. So it all begins in your thought process, whether it takes 1 day, 10 days, 20 years to get you to where you want to be. You have to be able to think your way through it and only allow those things in your mind that will push you past those limiting beliefs that says, I grew up with a single parent. I'm not meant to be an entrepreneur, that I can't speak to other people because that's not what my upbringing will be. If you start listening to those channels and those voices, it will stop you, and that will be your limit. But if you start listening to the voices that say that you are wonderful, you are amazing, that you deserve everything you've got, that you were designed in God's image and you have his favor, then you're going to keep going. That's what pushes you through when it's not happening, when it's slowing down. That pushes you through. But at the end of the day, it starts with your thoughts and the ability to change those thoughts when those negative limiting beliefs come in to take over.
Yeah, such a great thing. Suzette says something really great. I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the screen here. The process can't be rushed. Baby steps. Be grateful for small victories and build upon them. And that really is, I think, the big key here. I think as people look at this year and they look at where they've been, you know, I'm always very careful and trying to be very mindful and sensitive to the fact that for everybody, this has not been a great year. You know, we all probably know of someone, if we have not personally, who has lost someone this year, who has lost a job, who's had challenges this year. Maybe we've had our own challenges. So, you know, I never want to say, oh, yeah, everything's just great. You know, you should just feel great about 2021 because it has been full of challenges for a lot of people. But I think the fact that for me is so appropriate, this message is our last message of the week because it does not mean that it's over. Our gifts can still make room for us. And I think about one of my favorite scriptural examples is that of Joseph. And, you know, here was Joseph as a young man given this amazing vision of what would be happening. His brothers bowing down to him and all of this stuff. But he had to go through some stuff before he got there, before he got to that point. And it was not easy. I mean, being falsely accused and I mean, those are all things that people can relate to, being mistreated. And yet he was still able to say, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. And so, everything kind of helps us to become the person that we're supposed to be. And I think for myself, that is the lesson I want everyone to take away from today's show. As we're now in week 30 of my book, it really is, I think, a great reminder for us, as for all of us, that our gifts will make room. Again, we've been discussing week number 30 from this book, Words I Choose to Live By. You guys can see it there. I have it highlighted there in the carousel. You guys can get it in paperback and hardcover, as well as the Kindle edition. Also want to let you guys know, if you guys have noticed, in front of me, we have my BiteCool computer. It is powering today's segment. And I want to say about BiteCool, this show would not be possible, literally, without this computer. I started off with another brand. I won't mention what brand that is. But BiteCool, it was so interesting when I found out about them. This computer is built for exactly what we do here on Amazon Live. If you're looking for a computer that's great for streaming, for broadcasting, for your Zoom meetings, that kind of thing, BiteCool has a very affordable laptop. It's slim, nice to travel with. This one also includes Windows 10 on it. It's $279 on Amazon. It's been on sale now for quite a while, and it is definitely worth it. I've had it literally now for 6 of the months that we've been doing this broadcast, and it has made the biggest difference for me. So it's a great computer that is for those who are looking for something for streaming, broadcasting, that kind of thing. If you're doing a lot of things online, this is the perfect laptop for you. So I want to say, it's been great for me to introduce great products throughout this 7 months here on Amazon Live, but also to have conversations like what we've been having today from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, but also hearing the thoughts of this great panel that we have as well. So Mary Ellen, as we are able to give our closing messages then for this year and for December, what would you like to say to our audience about their gifts, but also your hope for them going into 2022?
Well, 2021 is almost over. 2022 is beginning. So how do you want your life to be? Visualize it, see it, say it. And if there's something you want to change, how can you go about changing it? If you're stuck doing one of your gifts and you can't get it going, sit back and say, okay, what do I need to learn from this? Who can I connect with? Am I approaching it in the right way? Change your thoughts, change your life. It's all about what you want. And don't wait for 2022. Begin today to connect with people, to say positive things to yourself, to be grateful for every single little thing. So many of the people I work with, I'll ask what they're grateful for, and they're grateful for their life and their partners, and that's all well and good. But I mean, be grateful, like I'm grateful for this desk. I'm grateful for everybody watching. I'm grateful for all my co-hosts and for Cyrus. I'm grateful for this little mouse right here, my little computer mouse. Be grateful for every single little thing, not just the big things. And just stay in that positive, upbeat mode, because through love, through our positivity, we can heal the world and we can make the world a better place.
Such a great thing. Melissa, what about for you? What would be your closing words as we're talking about the importance of our gifts making room for us, but also saying to our audience as we're wrapping up this year and going into the next?
I would say to you that you are amazing, that you're smart, you're intelligent, you're lovable. Believe that you are all those wonderful things and speak them out loud. I would also say to you, do not place limits on yourself. You're the only one that can limit your success. You can believe in the word of God. You can believe what God says. You can believe the people around you. But if you limit yourself, that will be your limit. So decide, what is it that you want to take into 2022 and you want to go for it. Decide what it looks like. Decide how it feels. Decide what you want to take into the year and you go for it. Take the limits off of yourself. Imagine the possibilities when you don't limit yourself. When you make a conscious decision, when you get up and you say out loud, I'm going for it. When you start looking at the people around you, and if they're not contributing, to you going for it. If it doesn't feel good when you're around them, take a look and make sure you place people around you that mean you well, that will restore you, will lift you up when you're having those moments, and have some scriptures in your head that you can scream out loud when you have those moments, and keep pushing towards your dream. Because this is what I say. Don't you want to know what happens if you just don't quit and keep going?
Yeah, I love that. What a great message. Jametta, thank you so much for watching us. Jametta says, yes, positive thinking is everything. If you dwell on the negative, you will miss so much of the positive. Such a great reminder, which brings us then to Darius. Darius, what about for yourself? As we're talking about our gifts making room for us, and all four of us know that is true because we've seen it in our own lives. But what would you say to people about thinking about that as we're wrapping up this year and going into 2022?
Man, I'm gonna give you the 3 M's. The 3 M's. Mindset is the first one. You know, you got to get your mind fixed to say, why am I doing this? It's in you. The gift is in you. You got it. You just have to learn how to operate it. Why? Okay. The second M is the mission. You got to understand the assignment. You have to know what you're doing and who you're doing it for and the reasons behind everything that's happening for you. The third M is movement. You got to move. You got to put your feet on the ground. You have to get up and do the work. It don't do enough. It don't do justice to just sit there and just to have dreams and visions, and you just having dreams and visions and not putting nothing to paper, and then not getting up, putting that paper, getting up, walking it over to where it needs to go to get stuff moving and get stuff done.
Yeah.
So you have to motivate yourself daily. I use the 3 M's. My mindset has got to be fixed. I must know the mission, and lastly, I got to move to make it happen.
That's a great reminder. Hello to you, Tamika Garrett. Hello to you, Tamika English. Appreciate the two of you. Suzette says, I want to thank you all for sharing your knowledge. May God continue to pour his blessings upon your lives. Appreciate that, Suzette. And Suzette, we want to say congratulations to you. For those who don't know Suzette, she's an actress doing amazing work. So Suzette, we appreciate you watching us today, and thanking all of you for your support. Thanks to all of you who are tuning in on Amazon Live. We appreciate you. For those who are joining us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on YouTube, thanks to all of you. This show, again, would not be one of the top 10 shows on Amazon Live in the media category without your support. So we really do appreciate all of you and what you have done in contributing to us and the work that we're doing here. So again, we've been discussing week number 30 from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. I invite you guys to get your own copy of the book. I want to let you guys know we'll be right back here next week as we're beginning a brand new year, and we actually are starting over. We're going back to week number 1 in the book. A fresh year is going to bring a fresh start for us. So look forward to that. And Darius, since we have you there up front, how can our audience stay connected with you, man?
The book is on Amazon. Let's go book note to self. Type my name in. Social media, all social media platforms. Darius L. Ewing on Facebook. Darius Ewing on Facebook. Instagram is Mr.Ewing1914. And on Twitter, DEwing1914. And lastly, I'll be just like the rest of my other co-hosts. I have my Mr. Darius at allyoucanget.com website or whatever. Well, yes, all of that will be coming in January, man.
Okay. All right. Well, Darius, glad to have you here with us. And Mary Ellen, what about for you? How can they stay connected with you?
Well, it's really simple. Just go to askmaryellen.com. You can read all of my blogs on there. There are quick connections over to Amazon for my brand new book, Truth Lives, which just came out on Thanksgiving Day, which I'm just so humbled and blessed that it's getting such great reviews. And I cannot tell you how humbled and blessed I am. And AskMaryEllen.com has my Miracles of Mary Ellen show. It has my Mary Ellen Miracle Moments. put links over to YouTube, to any of my other posts, and my truths of the day are up there also. So askmaryellen.com.
All right. So make sure you guys are staying connected with Mary Ellen. But last but certainly not least, the Melissa Banks. How can they stay connected with you?
Wow, you said it. It's themelissabanks.com. That's how you stay connected with me. You find out every single thing that we do, links to some amazing interviews that we speak to women and they share their struggles and successes, even our event planning. Everything is there at themelissabanks.com. And remember, our new Dream by Design expanded edition, the devotional, was released on Christmas Day on Kindle, and it is now available in print on Amazon. And I'm so excited. In that book, we're going to push you to action. We're going to inspire you, motivate you, and move you to moving toward your dreams. It's themelissabanks.com.
All right, there you have it. Well, again, we want to say thanks to all of you for being a part of Words I Choose to Live By here on Amazon Live. Hope you guys have gotten your copy of all of our books. But as the show says, this is Words I Choose to Live By. You all see it there. It's okay for you guys to hold up your books too. I don't mind. That's fine. But I mean, again, we just want to say again, thank you all so much for inviting us into your lives, taking a time to watch us, to share us. Continue to do that. If you guys are new to us here on Amazon Live, make sure you guys give us a follow. Again, click that follow button either up here or in this corner. Make sure you guys follow us. We have programming here all throughout the week. And we'll be right back here next week for another episode of Words I Choose to Live By as we're kicking off the year that is 2022. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, thank you all for watching Words I Choose to Live By. You all make it a great one. We'll see you all soon.
See you later.
Bye.